Welcome back to Life Love Shopping. I'm Race Pascal along with Andrea Jackson. Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness. You know, self-care is super important, especially when the stresses of daily life start to pile up.
So the next time you take an extended break from your daily 9-to-5 grind, resist the urge to spend it cooped up inside. Instead, step out into nature, and guess what? There's an app for that. It's called the Rails to Trails Conservancy. Joining us today is Brandi Horton, Vice President of Communications for Rails to Trails Conservancy. Hi, Brandi.
Hi, how are you?
So what is the mission for Rails to Trails?
Oh, wow, that's a big question. For nearly 40 years, Rails to Trails Conservancy has worked to create trails where people can walk, bike, and be active outside. Our mission really begins with rail trails, which are built from former railroad corridors. And that means they're typically pretty flat and they're great for all sorts of activities like running, walking, biking, rollerblading, getting your kids outside. And they're super important to communities. We've seen since the pandemic so many people finding their ways outside to these spaces, but there's still not enough of them. And even though we have trails all across the country, they aren't in every single neighborhood. And so one of the things we're very focused on is making sure that trails and connected trail systems are available and well known to everyone in America.
Well, just about every city and county in America has some network of walking and biking trails, but there are sometimes kind of a secret. How does this app help with that?
So we have a really cool app. It's called Trail Link, and it's available on Apple devices and Android devices. You can also get it on the web. And there are 40,000 miles of multi-use trails logged in this app. And it's geolocated. So you can basically say, I'm right here. Tell me what trails are near me. You can also say, I want to go to this place. Tell me what trails are there and what things I can do. So it's a really powerful tool to connect people to the things they want to do outside.
Brandi, is this for everyone? Do you evaluate skill levels? Like, do you warn if there are a lot of hills or it might be too much for one level?
That's a really good question because multi-use means you can do many things on trails. And even though the concept of a multi-use trail or a rail trail is that it is typically pretty flat, typically a hard surface, there are a lot of different experiences out there. So in that TrailLink app, you can sort by surface type. You can actually search and sort by surface type. So you can find out if a trail is gravel or a dirt surface or a paved surface. That's going to tell you about different things you can do, right? You probably can't skateboard quite as well on a gravel surface as you can on a paved surface. And then you can also take a look at kind of ability levels. So we talk about kind of what the grade is of the trail, things of that nature, and different use types. So you could say, I want to go horseback riding, put that in there and see what trails are available for horseback riding. There's really no limit to the types of things you can do on a trail. And so the TrailLink app really helps you filter that and figure out what's right for you.
This app sounds pretty amazing. I do think it's important to talk about safety. So do you offer any guidelines for people when it comes to safety?
There's lots of different people doing different things on trails. One of the things that's most important to keep ourselves and each other safe is to remember that we're sharing the space with other people and their different interests. So some simple tips: announce yourself if you're passing, practice safe speeds if you're on a bike or an e-bike. If you're going too fast as you approach someone, you can really startle them and then that can cause an accident. Move to the side if you're walking or biking and you need to take a rest or take a break, just move to the side. That's exactly the right thing to do so that you don't cause any sort of interaction with other users. And be aware of your surroundings. Sometimes it's a little bit of a bummer. It means maybe taking your headphones out so you can hear when people are passing or announcing themselves, but you want to be able to listen and look around at the situation so that you're aware of what's going on. We have a whole initiative around this because it's really important to us that trails are spaces that are welcoming and inclusive to everyone. So if you go to railstotrails.org/share the trail, you'll get all sorts of really fun guidance and tips. And our message is, be nice, trails are for everyone.
And Brandi, you are a conservancy, so what are you looking to do next and how can people help?
And this is one that's really exciting to so many people, myself included, is the Great American Rail Trail. It's connecting 3,700 miles of trail between Washington, D.C. and Washington State. So people can hike and bike across the entire country without interacting with vehicle traffic. So that's one of the biggest barriers for people getting outside is having to mix in with cars, right? Going for a bike ride or a run. And so being able to do that across 3,700 miles without interference with vehicles is really, really cool.
Brandi, thank you so much for your time. For those of you at home, you can go to the App Store and type in Rails to Trails or Trail Link to find and download it for free. We'll be right back.